going on, blue chips? How we doing this morning? Sorry, I was a couple seconds late there. I was supposed to be on time, but I was checking a chart. Let's see what we got here today. Excellence is being able to perform at a high level for a long period of time. Let's get to it. So that was a quote by Jay-Z. It's actually a pretty good one. I've definitely heard that before. And it's so true in the markets, is it not? The whole purpose is to be in this for the long term, to be performing at that high level for a long period of time, because that's what we're here to do, right? Make a living off of trading. So it's not about get rich quick. We've been preaching that since day one. And yeah, we're here for the long haul. So it's all about getting those reps in, all that good stuff. And yeah, so hopefully my mic sounds better today. It sounded fine on the stream. I went back and listened to the stream, but for some reason when I recorded my video yesterday after the fact, it sounded like that. And then I re-recorded it and it did the same thing. So I don't know what was up with it. But this morning I tested it and it was fine. I have no idea. So we will, hopefully it sounds good now. If it doesn't, let me know. But we're going to be just kind of going into the open, looking for the scanners to tell us what to do. SPY is kind of gapping down a little bit here today. Expecting a lot of things to be down on SSR as well. So that should probably throw a little wrench into things as well today. It's also Friday, so we're going to keep that in mind. A lot of people are probably going to hit it and quit it this morning, looking for that first half hour, 45 minutes to really kind of make their money and get out of here. So we'll probably be doing the same thing. Hopefully there's not too much on SSR. We get some pops, all that good stuff. So Thomas Marketing, what's up, man? How you doing? We shall see. We shall see. How we're doing overall we finally got the rest of our deposit into the Webull account, as you can see up here. Let's go right there. That should work. There we go. And we'll take a look at our positions. We were actually all the way up to, well, now it says 5,000, but it was $667. I even took a screenshot of it somewhere. Let me see. I think I took it before it actually got up to there. Yeah, 662. Can you see that? Yeah, it's real small, but all right, can I zoom? Oh, where's the zoom? Where's the zoom? There we go. 662 and 18, and actually went up to 670 soon after. So at the peak so far, we were up 67% on these positions. It's kind of crazy that we got that high. So they're all still in the green as of right now. Obviously, we're still up pretty well on the SPY. So I wouldn't be that disappointed to get a little bit of a dip out of the SPY so that I could get that other 25% that I was looking to get on the bottom end of all of this. I didn't really want to get the bottom because then as we pretty much just skyrocketed up here, like if we take a look at the let's take a look at the daily. When we take a look at the daily, we got our positions on the day that we created the bottom. And then since then, it's just been almost straight up. So expecting a little bit of like one of these types of bounces where it's like a relief bounce and then we get a little bit of a pullback, and we'll see what happens. But we're still in the midst of the virus, guys, so I don't see us not getting a pullback. I think this was pretty much just a lot of shorts covering, just a relief bounce, a dead cat bounce, whatever you want to call it. But I do think we're going to get a pullback at least to that 240 area. And then to be completely honest, as things get a little bit worse with the virus, I'm really hoping that this is the area, that 228, 230-ish area that we were talking about before. That is kind of what needs to hold if we want to keep this as the bottom. So we're going to kind of keep our eyes open. We're most likely not going to be adding to our long-term positions today. We're going to most likely see how today ends up and then possibly look to add to them next week, and we'll go from there. So got about 30 seconds here to the bell. Like I said, we're going to be just kind of letting the scanners do their thing, and we will get it today. Let's try to get it. Get it. Just responding to some ISW things here. Yeah, don't forget, if you guys get the platinum scanners through the end of the month, you get a free week in the chat. So don't forget about that. Links down in the description below. You'll still get the 30% off lifetime as well. So you don't have to worry about that. Alrighty. So it looks like everything's kind of going down. I was actually saying to ISW the other day, if you guys remember talking about hangovers, this is kind of the definition of a hangover, is what the SPY has here. Big day up yesterday. Kind of starts to gap down a little bit today in the pre-market, and then you look for it to just kind of hang over into the bell. But as of right now, it's actually kind of popping back up, which is usually what they do. And then you get short into these pops, and then it falls over. It's kind of the idea of a hangover. Sometimes you get lucky, and they just literally fall right over. Just kind of taking a look here. Brian's messing around with ASTC here. I don't even, what is he? Yeah, it looks like he's long. No, he's short. Brian the Beast. Really nothing on our scanner right now. This PG is kind of going crazy. What is this? This thing's all over the place. It's right at a double top. You know we're not doing that today. This thing has some crazy range too. Not too sure we'd be wanting to get involved with that. Keep an eye on it here. See if it wants to extend through this area. The high from yesterday, which was at the close. Constantine, what's up, man? Not one thing has been alerted on the plus I3 scan yet. Everything's on the minus I3 scan. It's not always a good thing. Means everything's getting crushed. Watching PG, it's really close to getting alerted, and it's a $108 stock, so it's pretty much been alerted. Normally for anything like over 30, we would have it at 15 plus instead of 20. So it was at 18, which is pretty good, but if it wants a double top, we're not going to mess with it. You know, we learned our lesson yet again yesterday. There's IDEX, the first one to be alerted over there. Let's take a look at it. No shares there. It's a penny stock. It's actually just got over $1. That's probably why it's just now getting alerted. It's definitely not something we're going to be playing. Zoom. ZM has been going absolutely nuts lately. We don't have any shares available on this thing, but as you can see, Zoom is not one of the ones that fell with the SPY. That's because this is the Zoom conferencing. So everyone working at home, people are taking advantage of using that. Drip, that's one of the gas stocks, right? Yeah, jeez, look at how much that got absolutely destroyed. Oil stock, whatever, 250 all the way down to 22. That is nuts. Yeah, we definitely would probably be playing Zoom right here if we had shares, but we don't. It'd obviously be a little bit smaller share size just because of the price and the range. But all right, so we got a couple things popping up here. RAD, we don't have anything there. DHT, pretty sure we do have shares there, but wow, look at the bounce off the bottom on that one. That was a big move. Still nothing. Not too sure I want to venture over to the other side today. We can take a look at some of these. We'll take a look at the ones that have volume, or at least a little bit of volume, which isn't many. UAL. The problem with these is just where they are on the charts. They don't really have too much support. That's kind of the problem with the SPY. Like, it doesn't really have any support until down at 240. So if the thing starts falling, there's really nothing to catch it. And it's kind of how all these charts are, because they're all following the SPY for the most part. GME, we don't have anything there. Really have no, volume here on, man, Tilray actually has made a move up too, all the way down there from 250, I think it was that. Yeah. That's crazy. That was actually one of the stocks I was looking at for possibly taking a long in, like long-term investment, but I just couldn't bring myself to it. But I mean, it is a lower float. It could have been one of those just like only take a quarter position total and see what it does. It definitely would have paid off so far. SPWH, let's keep scrolling. MFA, we know we don't have any shares there. I don't know why I keep pulling it up. So some things are starting to run here. SPW, yeah, we just did that one. Hexo, that's what we were on. Acor, I can't spell apparently. Nothing there. CNX, it's on SSR already. It's like I'm wanting WMC to randomly get some volume and go through high of day, but let's leave that one up. We'll come down. There's really not much else to look at the current moment. And we've looked at everything that's chilling on the scanner right now. SLCA, no range there. EQT, nothing there. It's coming off the bottom. RRC, nope. IVR, that's coming off the bottom too. I figure, I mean, a lot of these are probably moving with the SPY, and the SPY is coming off the bottom. It's actually trying to move back up right now, which is why I'm assuming all these are on the plus I3 scan at the moment. CLVS, this is the one that has annoyed us in the past. Like had good moves for an entire week and we had no shares. Here we go. KR, I didn't see that on the scanner, but it's making a really nice move here. Let's go to chart 2. See if we can get this move up towards 30. Let's start this here, 82. Look to add up through 30 there. And get this move back down. Previous resistance all the way down here at 29.20. Put that out there just in case. I've seen those big flushes happen before. There it comes. See what happens here at 50. We're going to take it off there, and if we get the pop up here from 50, we'll look to jump back in. If not, we'll take our 21 cents and be happy. But if it pops back up here, we'll look to play sloppy seconds. Not a bad first trade there. Just figured it'd use the whole or the $half there. Let's keep looking as well at the same time. I was going to add to that position right there at the top because it felt very toppy, but oh well. It's trying to use a $half, but it's not really bouncing, so it's looking like it might break that 50 area. Wasn't really expecting it to break it all in that same move though, because that was a pretty big move back down. But it is kind of consolidating itself right here, looking to possibly push through. Yep, and there it is. There, yeah, see, it's struggling right there anyway. So we wouldn't have got the full pop through that we were looking for. But we could have got a little bit more out of it. But it was slowing down there, and it was a pretty big move down. So I was happy to just take the starter there. NYMT, nothing there. Have to thank V from ISW in the room for that one on KR. I didn't see that one on the scanner at all. That's the beauty of having the chat room. It's like people can call out things, but just because they're calling them out doesn't mean you should just jump into the trade blindly. But when I pulled KR up, I mean, this is my edge to a T, right? Previous resistance, extension through, coming up to a whole dollar area. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. So I appreciate V for calling that one out. So here comes that bounce that we were looking for. See what it wants to do. SIEN, I saw it pop up there for a second. It's on SSR. We don't have any shares. Or, yeah, we do have shares, but it's not really moving anyway. GPMT. You have shares here. This thing is not really moving, though. I guess it has a decent range, but it's not really the type of trade we're looking for. Volume's not that great either. KR struggling to get back up there. Could be a sign that thing's going to just drop. SPY looks like it's trying to go back down as well. There's the drop on KR. So a little frustrating there. We were hoping for a bigger bounce, looking for some sloppy seconds there up near like 29.80. And that was the initial drop that we were wanting, but it dropped so big there at the beginning that it was hard to really account for, because we all know the faster the move, the weaker the trend. So when we had that fast move right back down, the odds are we were going to get a bounce. And it did try. As you can see, it did get back up to 71, but we were looking for it to get back up towards that high of day. So not a big deal. We'll take the winner and we'll move on. AOBC. Kind of a double top here. That's the advantage of having these lines, like the high of day from yesterday, is if you're scrolled in like this looks pretty extended. You got a previous resistance here in the pre-market, but you didn't know that it's right at yesterday's high, which a lot of people like. They like to see that it's at like a previous resistance, but I don't like those. To me, I don't like those double tops because that's a breakout point. So if it gets through that breakout point like we saw yesterday on pins, the thing can really run. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for it to break through that and then give us the run. Yeah, KR I would have missed too if it wasn't for V in the room. So I appreciate that from V. A pretty slow, choppy day so far. I mean, even the SPY right now is just kind of in like a little $3 range here. It tried to go low a day there, but got bought right up, and it's just kind of chilling in this $3 range. So, whoa, look at AOBC. That was a pretty quick drop. A little bit lower on the volume too, so those can be a little bit of an issue as well. Get Tilray going a little nutso. That halted. So, guys, yesterday, courtesy of Devin from the Discord room, I finally figured out, because he showed us one of his charts, and we said, yo, you need to figure out how you got those dots on there for when it halts. And so he went looking, and he found it right away. So if you right-click on the chart and you go to Data Config, right here, blank bars automatically. You got to check it. And there you go. Now you can see the halts. That's something on DOS I could never find. I probably could have just went and asked DOS themselves in the chat, and I don't know. I guess I was just too lazy to do it, or I just never thought to do it when I thought about it. And yeah, so finally figured that out. Another little plus to add into the DOS video that I plan on making at some point. SPY is trying to go low a day again here. Looking for anything and everything to play here. Obviously, like I said, going into today, we were looking to be very patient. Kind of an interesting day. Oh. I was just curious what KR did there. Bounced right off of yesterday's high of day, which was kind of a previous resistance. It actually got a little bit through it, which was this 2930 area. The 2990 was as high as it got. Our average was at 2982. So we were risking 8 cents and we made 22 cents. So not too bad. Almost 3 to 1 on our money. Say, I saw INO here up on the scanner, but we don't have any shares, so nothing we can do there. Plus, it looks like a little bit of a grinder at the moment, so. Dang, Devin killing it. Devin traded LIFT, man. Now I really do wish I had INO shares. Look at this. We'd be jumping in right here at 790. Oh well, not even gonna look at it. We can't play it, so not even gonna look at it. Even though I'm looking at it up there, but not really. I was looking at lift here. Devin played lift. He jumped in. Let's see where we're at. Right on this one little pop here, right here on this candle. He realized that it was making lower highs, jumped in, and he just got out right around here. Beast trade there. Ooh, look at INO. This is a beauty. Look at INO. Thing is just moving. That's what we're looking for. Nice extensions through previous resistance. Previous resistance I'd be using is right there, 766. Right through 8, we'd be getting our ad right here. 798, so we'd be right around little under 8 for our average. We'd obviously have that too as well if we needed it, as it's popping up here. Yeah, this is a 97 mil float. Probably still be holding it. We would have been looking for like 825 area for that extra ad. Doesn't quite look like it wants to get there. Oh, there it goes. See if we can get up through 820. Be waiting, feeling it. I feel like boom right here. I feel like it'd be hard not to hit it there and just be patient. Obviously, I'm not in the trade, so there's really not much I can say. But if we were like right at 825, so we'd be like at like 810 right now with full size. So I'd probably be looking to take half right around 8, like if we can get that flush under 810. Then you'd be looking to ride the rest out there on the way back down. But if it wants to continue to run, that's where you're kind of put in a tough spot. That's the one disadvantage of the 112 is you got to hold yourself accountable. You're going to have to take these losses. I didn't trade it because I don't have shares. See? Symbol is not shortable. See some other things going on here. Let's take a look. Oh, man, look at APT. Look at this one. Same thing. No shares. Oh, look at that. That thing is a beauty. Just to show you guys, here comes INO, pulling back down towards 8. We'd have an order out right there at like 803. There it is, be on the bid, and there we go. We would have got the fill. It came down on the ask. We would have been out half, looking for the rest to go through 8, just like that. Man, that would have been such a nice one. Okay. And wow, look at APT. Look at this thing run. Right up to 11. Has resistance at almost every level here, so it's actually going to halt. Look at that. What is the float on APT? It has to be a lower float. I don't see it on my scanner, so it has to be. Yeah, 10 million. So we most likely wouldn't have been playing this one anyway. It actually didn't halt. It moved up to the next one. I'll put that one up here just to watch it, even though we're not going to play it. I'm just curious to what it does. KBH. SPY's actually trying to move back up here. Could be a factor. TMHC. Could look like a double top. ABR. Nothing there. IVR. We looked at that one earlier. Yeah, it's still not doing anything. TMHC. Man, look at APT. It's like trying to halt, but not really. Kind of stair-stepping the halt. It's a huge move considering for TMHC here. Look at this. Look at the bars it usually puts in, and then look at these 3 bars that it just put in. Kind of right at some resistance here on the daily, which is the high day from yesterday. And then it has room all the way to 13, like 13 area. See if it wants to go through the high day from yesterday. APT is literally stair-stepping that halt. You see that? It's getting pushed up to the halt price, like stalling, and then waiting for the halt price to go up, and then they push it up even further. Let's say eventually you're going to run into the retail traders looking to sell, though. That's the problem. If somebody's trying to push this thing up themselves. I didn't even have that chart up, but if you guys had it up. All right, TMHC, that was kind of unfortunate. We were looking for this to give us a nice push through up towards that 1250 area. Didn't quite give it to us. Just to show you what I was talking about on APT. It looks like it's starting to fail now, but SIEN is not really giving us what we want. There's the big fail from APT. Excuse me. What is the green line and the red line? The green line, the solid ones, the solid green and solid red are intraday high of day and intraday low of day. The dotted green and the dotted red are yesterday's high of day and yesterday. Well, actually, it's yesterday's close as the red one, not yesterday's low of day. Just so I know when it's going green to red or red to green. Charts are a little laggy right now. What do I have up there? APT, okay. Making sure I'm on the right chart. Just being patient, guys. I still haven't seen anything else that we'd be looking for. But what did INO end up doing? That thing came all the way back down. It's sitting at 790 right now. So that one would have worked out nicely. We'd probably still be holding like 25% of our position there, our initial starter, with an average up there around 810. But obviously we don't have any shares there, so it doesn't matter. How do you do it? The dotted line. You right click, go to chart or study config, and how I get those on here, you got to find the one in the studies called price marker. Oops. Right here, you select it, and then when you just put it, when you hit select, it'll come over here. Then in the config, you can change all that. So you can put the high is for high of day today, Y high is yesterday's high, yesterday's close. And then the line style is where you choose what kind of line you want. The color and the width and all that good stuff. And INO took the dip all the way down there to that previous resistance. Look at that. Beautiful. 766, got all the way down there. Tried to use VWAP. It went through VWAP a little bit, trying to use that previous resistance. So beautiful trade there. Would have definitely been out the rest if we were still in any of our shares. INN pauses here. I'm going to watch this one out of the halt. Put that up on the other chart. Really not much else to look at the moment anyway. So RAD, don't have any shares there. VXRT. Our investments are falling. It's nice to have the full amount in there now, though. That's nice. I told myself yesterday that I really, really wanted to take some of that off, like some of the profits, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. Right? I'm getting into these positions for the long term. So, yeah, I could have took some short-term gains, but then guess what? What if we don't get the gap down today? What if we just go sideways and then we eventually, like, what if we find a cure tomorrow and everything just skyrockets up? I'd be kicking myself, right? So we don't know what's going to happen any given day. So I just decided that I bought these shares for the long term. I'm going to hold them for the long term. If it goes back down, we'll add to the position like we planned to originally, right? We're going to stick to the overall plan. GPMT, ONDK, that's right on the day, just checking it out, SSR. Really not much to look at. Really not much to look at. Everyone in ISW is like starting to drool over INN. Let's see, what is INN, just out of curiosity? 102 mil float, Summit Hotel Properties. So it's obviously a hotel. If it's moving with the SPY, let's take a look. Kinda. Took a little bit more of a harder hit than the SPY. That last little bit there, but it is moving with the SPY for the most part. So if the SPY is going up, this thing might still get a little bit more of a pop. And the problem with something like this is it's $4.70 stock. So 10% of that is what, 47 cents? So just over 5, which is that double top area, would be another halt if it wants to. So that's kind of what you have to keep in mind too. So me personally, I would definitely love to see this thing pop through 5. And I honestly wouldn't be inclined, or I would be inclined to take the trade there, which would be $1. Let's get it ready. Let's see, when should we be going live here? The last candle was, make sure I'm clicking on the right one. 9:56-ish. So got about another minute. But we'll keep that one up and see what happens. Got my order ready just in case. We'll see what it does. There's really nothing else moving. Lift over VWAP. Looks like it made a nice little push through VWAP. Still climbing. Lift is also sort of moving with the SPY, so. Wonder, does it tell us? No, not yet. Excuse me. So we should be going live any moment here. I mean, granted, this candle says 56, so it could be anywhere after that too. It could go all the way up to 57, 9:57, 59 seconds for all we know. I don't have the time and sales up, or else that would tell us exactly when the last order went through. Or we could go check out the website over at NASDAQ and it could tell us, or at New York Stock Exchange, whatever this one is a part of. But we have the chart up and we're waiting and nothing else is happening, so not a big deal. Wowzers! Did you see that? Holy crap, what was that all about? I totally missed that. They tried to halt right at 543, like instantly. The heck was that? And then the volume just straight up died. I'm so confused right now. I flabbergasted. I don't really know what the heck that was. that had me confused. Plus, it didn't really add up, right? 570, 47 cents. The halt should have been much lower than that at 10%, but whatever. Last one on tape, 470. I meant the time, Thomas, so that we knew when it was going to unhalt. But if you take 10% of 470, that's 47 cents, right? So that's where it should have halted, 47 cents up, but that was much more than 47 cents. That was almost a whole point. It was getting pretty close. And then this thing is like it just died right after that. Not died as far as coming down, but the volume just died. It was very random. I've never seen something come out of a halt like literally into another halt like that. That was a little confusing. When I see that, I'm assuming it's going to halt. I feel like there's so much buying pressure that it went right to the halt that we were probably going to halt again. So I was a little confused. But I guess that could have been somebody covering their short position, like a long-term short position, knowing that this thing could be squeezing, so they just got out of the whole position. I don't know. That was very weird. Were you laughing at me? I was like, I was just confused at what happened. Wowzers. Even Mom's laughing at me. Hi, Mom. Not gonna lie, hey, I've been doing this for a little over a year and a half now, and I've never seen a stock do that. So I was caught off guard. Not gonna lie. Now I know that I can expect something like that, and now I know what it may do afterwards. So it's good to know. Always learning. Frustrating morning. Really not much going on for me, for my strategy that I like to imply on a daily basis. I was actually pretty excited this morning, hoping, well, I would have been excited if the SPY wasn't gapping down because we were getting the nice moves to the upside. But hey, it's not going to happen every day. WETF. No range there. Some stocks I've never heard of before moving here on like no volume. Just out of curiosity, Mr. Tix, how are you at? Not doing too bad. I always laugh at Mr. Tix because when I first started trading, when it was just me and Devin talking every day, it was right here in August of 2018 into like October and stuff. And I remember we were looking at these penny stocks and we're like, man, look at these higher price stocks and look at how they move. They got like a 6-point range every single day. We're like, we should be trying to figure out how to play these things. And it was down here at like $30. And then look at this thing. Ever since then, thing just went all the way to 128, 132. That's crazy. So I always just remember that stock, Mr. Tix. It was like the first stock that made me realize that, hey, maybe there's some better ways to trade. But that was before I even really knew what low floaters were. And their float is actually 42 mil, which is why they move as much as they do, which I didn't know at the time, obviously. RWT, that's still trying to move here. This is that one that has some pretty darn good range, but it's just not moving that fast. Not sure how we would want to play it. And of course, CLVS non-stop, always saying, hey, remember me? Apparently pen is moving again. Kind of, sort of. Man, we've played that up in the 20s. Even I think we even played that near 30 once. And this thing is at $1.72. Ouch. I believe they're one of them bio companies. I think they got whacked before the SPY even got whacked. So the SPY getting whacked didn't help too much. I don't really know what company they are, but I think that's what they are. Just keeping RWT up, seeing if this thing wants to make any kind of real run. Other than that, we're just kind of sitting on our hands, which kind of sucks. If you guys haven't noticed, we don't have the kids this morning. It's been peaceful. It's been quiet. I've actually been able to focus. Woke up a little bit earlier, kind of, sort of. Was actually like ready to go today, so a little sad that we're not getting too many opportunities for our strat, guys. There's plenty of opportunities out there, just not for our strat. But that's the beauty of it, right? Not every strategy is going to work every single day, or at least it's not going to present a multitude of opportunities. I mean, you guys have seen last couple of days we've been trading 5-6 times, so we only found one so far this morning, and we didn't even find it. That was courtesy of V from ISW. And there it is right there. Had the nice pop up through that previous resistance, and we got the cover down to when we felt like it was done because we only got that starter position. Would have been real nice to hold a little bit of that if we would have got maybe that second entry, because it never crossed the pivot. So the first time we would have been out was, I guess if this came back down and tested, it would have been right here. So 28.67, that would have been nice for the rest of our shares. So RWT attempting here, WBT, oh, here we go. It's kind of smaller here. What's the 141? This thing kind of just died here. Look at this. I didn't like how it just died there. I was waiting for it to pop up further. It's kind of felt like it felt like what it was going to do. Especially because I just pulled it up and it was already just stalled there like that. Plus, I looked over at the 60-minute real quick, and there's nothing holding this thing back. I mean, not until like 5. Well, I guess like 5. So the range on this is kind of crap, but oh well. Looks like we missed it. Came right back down to that previous resistance there from the pre-market. Just kind of some odd volume there. Still watching RWT up top here. Still watching WBT as well. If I wanted to continue, I really just thought we were going to get that pop. The way it just kind of stalled, in my experience, usually you just get that one more little pop. And that's what we were looking for, but obviously we didn't get it. APT, that thing looks like an upside on W, right? Looks like an M. RWT, it's like, come on, man, just squeeze. Just do it. It's on SSR. It's got help. You miss KR? I mean, it wasn't on the scanner, so I'm actually curious where V found it. You might have just had it up randomly. I mean, that's happened to me before. We go RWT trying 7. I see. Wait, what? Trying to figure out Devin's chart here. I think we were talking about 2 different parts of the trade, but TRTX, I think we looked at that one earlier. I do have shares on that, but it's really not the chart we're looking to play. GPMT, yeah, I think it's like way down there. Looks like Brian's playing the descending triangle here on ZM. VTR. Yeah, VTR's got a ways to go. Very low volume as well. Like I said, I'm not looking to play double tops. That looks just like Pin's chart from yesterday. So if it wants to run, it should come up on the scanner. We'll wait for it. Just like RWT, if that we were waiting for that to really kind of pop. Obviously it's not. It's using the whole dollar here as some resistance. Let me pull up Devin's chart here and actually look at it on the big scale. Buy, sell, and then buy, sell. I'm so confused. I'll let him explain it. I'm not gonna try to make sense of something that I clearly am not understanding. GPMT. Looked at that one earlier too. Yeah, so one we were just looking at. INN back up on the scanner there. Oh, look at that drop from INN. Man, what a shame. I had plans to get into that one. I really did. But the way that came out of that halt, that was an interesting one. But it ended up working out, that's for sure. Oh, well. RWT is now on the scanner the other way. HP making a nice move here, kind of into a double top. Not on a lot of volume though. Let's see if we can get up through that 1920 area. Here we are at 19. Am I on the right chart? Yeah, okay, just making sure. Here we go. See if we can get up through. Or is it going to double top? Is the question. It's looking like it wants to double top, or at least it feels that way at the moment. Being patient with this one. This is exactly like pins from yesterday. Not doing it. It's my strategy. It would have worked if you played the double top there so far. I don't care. I don't care. Not putting myself in those positions. I don't need to. I do. I mean, I love the overextension away from that previous resistance down here. But if you scroll out, there's all kinds of stuff in here, right? The one that we're looking for is the main one, which is up here at 1920. So if it wants a double top here, then so be it. We're looking for the bigger move. I mean, granted, that's got some pretty good range to it. Are you looking at half moving or full moving? I do not understand that question. So there goes HP. Would have been a nice double top there. Not playing double tops, guys. Just not doing it. It's one rule that every time I do it, it burns me. Every single time. Of course, obviously this time it wouldn't have, right? Of course. Maybe in the future, when we're out of our account building mode, like if we are on like a legit account and we can start throwing money at these types of setups, I mean, because it is a higher probability setup, right? Big extended move into a good resistance. I mean, that's definitely something that is a higher probability setup. But I'm really just looking for that one, one or two really A-plus type setups. And to me, this is not one of them because as we saw yesterday on PINS, which I'll just bring it up real quick and show you. We scroll over here. If we go to yesterday, we got in right at 15. Well, that was the double top. Let me scroll on to show you if it'll let me. Come on. There we go. So the high from yesterday was right here at 15. So if we draw this line and then zoom in again here, you'll see we had a big extended move up to that double top. So we took our entry right there through the whole dollar, expecting it to double top, and sure enough, it went all the way up through and up to 1550, which is a big move for the move that it already made. So, and that always seems to happen to me. So I'm not saying I'm unlucky or blah, 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 but I am saying that it's just not what I am looking to play. Not right now. But obviously in this case it would have worked because we didn't take it. If the stock has moved from 250 to 350, do you expect it to make another move of a point or 50 cents? I don't necessarily expect it to do anything. It can do whatever it wants. But what I'm doing is I'm kind of basing it off the move that it's already made. That's why I have these hot buttons. So like in the case of HP, the move kind of started down here around 18. We were up at 19. So that's why I hit the dollar button to get my share size. So I'm kind of using the move that it's already made to determine my share size. I'm not really expecting it to make that much more of a move. But if I do look over at like the daily, the 60-minute, whatever I'm looking at, and I see like a certain resistance area, you could also do it that way. Like if it's at 19 and you see a resistance at 1950, you could use 50 cents as your shares determined, if that makes sense. WBT doesn't really have any volume. This is the one that shot up earlier on that random volume. Yep, no problem, marketing. Yeah, I love using the length of the move, because in most cases, in my experience, whatever the length of the move is, where it starts to feel toppy, if it does continue, usually it'll continue about half of what that initial move was. Like that's kind of, so like imagine you start sprinting up a hill, right? And you get about 3/4 of the way and you just start to get tired, right? So to get that extra 25% of the way, you have to like really push, but it's going to be a lot slower, right? But then once you get to the top, now you're at the top of the hill, now you go back down the hill, but that last little push, it took a lot more effort to get to the top of the hill. So that's why I say that first initial push, it's like you sprinting up the hill, but eventually you're going to start getting tired. You're going to get tired, and then you still want to push a little bit further, but you're getting tired. Your legs are giving out, all the good stuff. And so you do get a little bit higher, and you get to the top of the hill, and then it's time to come back down. So there's a bunch of different analogies you can use for that, but that's a pretty good one, I guess. But in some cases, some people sprint and they get 75% of the way and they're just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm just going to roll back down the hill. Kind of like WBT did. It was like, I'm sprinting. Yeah, I'm done. I don't know. I'm going to come back down. Yep, no problem, man. Oh, no. V said should have taken pins. Oh, I didn't even see pins. I wonder if this was on the scanner. Probably wouldn't have took it anyway because it would have been trying to do exactly what it did yesterday, get to that double top. I don't know, maybe like the halts and the SSR thing, maybe I'll talk myself out of the mental, because I know a lot of it's mental with the double tops, but I went back and I checked, and I've traded probably over 50 double tops since I've started trading, and I want to say it's a good majority, like 80-85% of the time, they always go through the double top and extend to where if I would have just waited for that to extend through the double top, it would have been a great trade. So maybe I'll go back and take a look at them again to see, like, maybe I'm just playing them wrong. Even if I get in at the double top, like, could I have just cut it at the double top once I realized it was going through? Like, maybe I'll come up with a strategy so that I can get into those. And then if for some reason it looks like it's going through, maybe I could just cut it right there, take the small loss, and then look to get back in if it extends through. So maybe, I mean, that sounds like a logical thing to do. So maybe we'll look into that, but it's a little unfortunate right now because there's really nothing we can do about it. TCRD, what's the float on this? Because I don't see it on my scanner. This must be a lower float, under 40. 28. See if we can get a little bit more of a push out of it. We can just go a little bit smaller on the share size. A lot of volume coming in there as it's coming down, so a lot of selling pressure here, which isn't necessarily a good thing. It means it could squeeze because the price didn't really come down that far. Somebody could be soaking up some shares here, trapping some shorts. Also have PS up here on the top chart. It looks like it's coming up to that double top area. Not on a lot of volume. I think we're going to get a little bit of a squeeze here out of TCRD. I think somebody was soaking up some shares there. Yep, here we go. This one could be a little bit dangerous, guys. This is a little bit of a lower float. Let's see, 3.8, like right around 4, it has some resistance. But if you guys are reading the price action there, you could see there was a lot of volume coming in, a lot of selling pressure at that 320 area, and it just was not going down. I don't quite think this thing is done just yet. We'll see. It's a lower float, so I'm going to be really cautious with it. I'd rather miss this one altogether than get stuck in it, because this thing could also halt very easily too, being a lower price stock. Not really looking to play anything crazy here going into the weekend. I'd rather just let this one go, because this isn't my A+ setup, but if it wants to extend itself pretty good, we'd be interested. But again, look at all the selling pressure coming in, and somebody is soaking those shares, right? We're not getting that huge drop down. Somebody is buying those shares up. Somebody just said TC2K, the charting software, has this as a 350,000 share float. Yeesh. I think that's enough. Just hearing that is enough to keep me out of it. I'm not messing with something that is that low of a float. Especially when you see somebody just soaking up the shares like that. That can be dangerous. But at some point, whoever's soaking those shares up, they're going to get it to a key level, and then they're gonna hit the sell button, and this thing's going to come crashing down. It's what you see all the time. This could be a chat room. A chat room could be involved with this now. A very popular one. I'm sure there's a couple of them that could be involved. These can definitely get a little dangerous. So I think we're going to sit here and watch this one, see how it plays out. I do think we're going to get like a crazy dump at some point from whoever was soaking up those shares. And we'll see what happens. But I am not trading this thing. What about it?
It's 200 more than yesterday.
Yeah. Let me see what the I mean, the death totals, it went up 2,000 from yesterday overall, and the cases total went up 20, a little over, right around 20,000.
Yeah, we're over China now, and we're a third of the population.
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't look good. I only see 580. Where'd you get that number at?
Jen sent it. Coronavirus.maryland.gov. Oh, it's Maryland's.
Oh yeah, well, that would make sense that they're more up to date than.
Yeah.
So they're fighting here. I'm telling you, I think we got some chat rooms involved here. I think somebody was soaking up some shares. Danger is my middle name. What's up, Vincenzo? I think if we get this push over high a day here, I think we might get a halt. I just got that feeling. This thing might go right up to 4. The other thing too is it's easy to borrow, right? See, we can borrow it. So there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I'm going to short this thing. It's a pump and dump, blah, blah, blah. And then when they start to get caught in it, somebody might be manipulating this thing. Oh, coming down to 50. See, it keeps popping up. They're not letting it get all the way down to 50. We'll see. I mean, I could obviously be completely wrong, and this thing could come diving down right the second, but we shall see. There it is at 350. Oh, it got through. That's the big break that we were looking for. See if it gets soaked up. Not quite. Yep, there's the drop. See what happens here. And that's kind of what pump and dumps do. When they finally break, they snap off pretty hard, and there it goes. So it felt like it was trying to get held up there. It really did. But when you start getting chat rooms and stuff like that involved, you start getting all these shares in there. You know, eventually when that key area breaks, everyone just panic sells out, and this is what happens. And then they always end up going back to where they came from. I thought the way that it felt like it was getting soaked up, it really felt like someone was really trying to hold this thing up, and they might have just took all their shares off up here. Because look at all the volume that was going through. So definitely a scary one for sure. Because this is one of those ones that could have easily just kept on ripping, right? This thing could have easily went up to like $5-6. Like we don't know. It could have been one of those with such a low float. That's the whole point of these. You just don't know. But with that said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget about the Friday night live stream tonight. It's going to be at 10:30 Eastern. Not exactly sure what we're going to be talking about. We'll probably just be talking about moving forward. All right, that's all. That's pretty much what we're here to do. Looks like TCRD is actually trying to pop back up here, but it already made the big breakdown. Anybody that was caught in it short most likely already got out. That's probably what this is, a little bit of a short squeeze. So I'll catch you guys. If I don't see you tonight, have a good weekend, and I'll see you Monday morning, but hopefully I'll see you tonight. And until then, peace.